Okay, there's a new toy on the bench. Yes, I already have an LCR meter, but I've got this one now. And the reason is because I always wanted one. There's really no good reason. My other one, and I'll show it to you, my other one was just fine and worked just fine. But you know, if a wrench fits your hand, you should buy the wrench, right? And this one I just like this one. It's the one that I wanted to buy in the first place. I wanted an LCR for a very long time, but they were always way too expensive for me. And then when I had a little bit of money, it was hard for me to even justify an LCR meter because you don't use them that often, or at least I thought. And then I got my Unity meter. I guess I'll show it. So this is the one I was using. This is a Unity UT612. It worked fine. But this is the one that I wanted. I think I paid about $190 for this one, and these retail, I think, for $500. So, yeah, so they're better. Yeah, they're better, and they will test at a higher frequency also, the C model. There's an A model, a B model, a C model. A C model goes up to 100 kilohertz. And so I obviously couldn't afford $500 either, and I was on eBay the other day, and I found this one in France, brand new in the box for $350. So I just couldn't pass it up. I offered the guy $300 and he wouldn't take it. I offered him $320 and he wouldn't take it. I offered him $335 or something, wouldn't take it. So I said, okay. I just bought it. I knew that if I let it slide, I'd always kick myself. So I went ahead and bought it. So I wanted to thank my viewers and my patrons for supporting my channel. It does give me a little bit of revenue, and it's able to let me ease the pain of buying some nice toys that I've always wanted. I'm getting too old not to have the toys that I've wanted. Okay, I've made that conclusion. I just need to have the things because I don't have that many years left. So I'm just going to buy some nice things. So I bought this Keysight U1733C. I also ordered a Keysight voltmeter, a handheld voltmeter that will be coming in a few days. I found a really good deal on that also. So anyway, so let's take a look at this one today. I like the keyboard. It's just super simple. So that was one of the big things that I liked. It's much easier to navigate. If I want to know what ESR is, I just hold down the button and boom, it gives me ESR. Let's see, there it is. 1.4, and very accurately, 1.457 ohms. Okay, maybe that's a bit too accurate. So that's nice. Now this one can display the ESR and the capacitance at the same time, so that's nice. So maybe this one's a little better in that regard. I can display, up here, I can display D, Q, and theta, okay? And so that comes on at the same time. So you can convert in your head the ESR numbers into these numbers. So if you're clever, let's see here. It has auto range or ranging. It has you can tell it to do resistance or Z or L. So, or you can hit this and it automatically does auto everything. It does have the backlight that will time out after a while. One of the other things that I really liked about this meter was that it had the little slots in the front, so you can just jam the capacitor in there. Now, this meter comes with a whole bunch of accessories. So let's show that for a second here. So this video is sort of like, you know, you want an LCR meter, maybe what are your choices? There are quite a few of them out there now, and they're getting a little bit cheaper, but the range of this are still like, I think in the $150 range or something like that. And there's a bunch of companies around. There's one design, I forget the company who did the original one. This is just a clone or an actual, they build it and then Unity puts their name on it. I don't know, but it's the same meter. So it comes in a nice carrying case. It comes with like I said, I like the little slots in the front. This thing comes with a little slot thing. You have to jam it in the front, and then you have slots, but then you have to keep taking it on and off and on and off, and I just didn't want to do that. I think it comes with another one that I've misplaced that does surface mount things. It does have a USB connection, and you can get data out of it, so that's nice. The Keysight, you have to buy an extra cable that's an optical cable. I think they're about $37 or something. I don't know if I'll get one of those or not because I've never used this one. I never data log anything. It came with these tweezers, and I'll be able to use those on my Keysight meter, so I'll keep these. People have seen and commented a lot about the cables that I usually have on there, which are these guys. These are not Kelvin cables. These are shielded probes. I don't remember where I got these, and they're basically made for this particular instrument, and they're really just connection and shield. They are not Kelvin. The other side of this thing is not wired up. Unfortunately, the B and C's are smushed in these guys, and they won't fit my Keysight. So anyway, that's kind of weird. Anyway, so enough of this one. If you want to get one of these, I still recommend them. I think they're great. And like I said, there's a couple of these out there that are basically exactly the same. I don't remember the brand names, but other people could comment. So yeah, these are nice. But this is make sure I don't drop these over here. But this is the one. This is the one that I wanted. Now I have one. I'm very pleased. So I don't know what there is much else to say about it. It's going to be dead accurate. And there was a version of this. So Keysight got into this business. They were just having some other company use their reference design, and they were just putting the Keysight name on it. But this one supposedly was designed from the ground up at Keysight, so the 33C. So if you get the 33C, it's the fancy one. It's got all the stuff in it. So anyway, it's the first Keysight product I've ever owned, which is kind of nice. It takes a 9-volt battery. Yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy it. You'll see it in videos. One thing I want to mention is, I said before, I had a hard time justifying one of these, because I think at the time I thought I would hardly use it. I would use it very, very infrequently, and I actually find myself using it all the time now. I don't quite understand why, but anyway, it just seems to be something I use just constantly, not only for fixing things, but maybe checking parts I get from the junk stores. I don't know. I just seem to be using it all the time. Now, if you can't afford this, I mean, obviously, you got to be rich to have one of these things. And even the other ones, like I said, it's too expensive. Get yourself one of these, right? These little component testers. So if I put my capacitor that I was testing over there, I'll stick it in this one. I'll push the button. And it says it says 479 nanofarads, 479. And let me pop it in over here. And it measures 482. That's at 1 kilohertz. Let's move it to the standard. Oops. Let's move it to the standard frequency. Push the wrong button. Of 100 hertz. So usually the capacitors are either tested at 100 hertz or 120 hertz. So yeah, it's a little bit different here. So frequency, this is 100 hertz, 120 hertz, and 1 kilohertz, 10 kilohertz, 479, and 100 kilohertz, 470. It'll drop a little bit. I had a viewer the other day. I was testing some 10 microfarad capacitors, and he said, "I noticed your meter was set to 1,000. Isn't that too high?" And I said, "No, not going to be much difference between 100 and 1,000. So let's do that here. Here's a 10 microfarad. We'll just shove this in here. And it's going to have a hard time figuring out that it's not a resistor. Let's tell it it's a capacitor. Let's see, how do you do that? You go capacitor. We'll go to capacitor mode here. There we go, capacitor mode. Okay, so it's measuring 6 microfarads, so that's charging up a little bit. So 6 microfarads. Does this capacitor really change at frequency? Oh, that was at 100 kilohertz, I'm sorry. So here we are at 100 hertz. So yeah, so at 100 hertz, it's measuring 11 microfarads, okay? At 120, it's measuring 11 microfarads. And then at 1 kilohertz, it's measuring 10.7. So there's not a lot of difference between 100, 120, and a K. When usually these meters, when you turn them on, they default to 1K. I don't know why, but they default to 1K. So it's at 10. Yes, it will drop as we saw at 100. Let's see, we'll go up. So at 10 kilohertz, it's going to drop down some, drop down to 9.7, and then at 100 kilohertz, it's going to be quite low, which is the 5.6. So don't worry too much at 1 kilohertz. It's going to be about the same, 10 microfarads. So anyway, there you go. New product. I'm going to enjoy it a lot. It's also smaller. The physical size of it is smaller, so that's nice too.